So we'll confirm that and go live. That looks good. And then we will hit the music, hit the record, and we're good. Okay, so thanks to anyone who watches this video for watching. So this is my EDH and EDH deck I've been working on. This is, of course, Sithis Harvest's Hand, so it's an Enchantress deck, but it's a bit pillow forty, but I had the idea of trying to, as a win con, trying to make it based around creature tokens, because I own a Parallel Lives and an Anointed Procession, and I thought, well, it'd be cool to have both of those in a deck and just, try and get one of them out with something, with some kind of enchantment that makes creatures, and just, I don't have any... I think Earthcraft is in the deck, so there are infinite combos in the deck, but they're all Earthcraft based. The deck is not based around getting Earthcraft into play. Indeed, I think I only have 1 or 2 tutors in the game, and one of them is for land, and the other one's for creatures. Yeah, I don't actually have I don't have Enlightened Tutor. I don't have any tutors in this deck. I don't actually own an Enlightened Tutor, I'll be honest, but I also just like making decks that don't rely on tutors, and this is definitely one of them where I don't think it needs to run any real tutors. So anyways, what I do when I'm making a deck is, once I've kind of got it together, I playtest it. And so usually what I do is I draw it out to about turn 7. And just to see how, now this is of course assuming that nobody mucks with your board state. So this is, this is not meant to represent what your game is actually going to look like, because people are going to muck with your board. This is just meant to see whether or not the deck is even drawing the way you would want it to, assuming that it's put it this way: if your deck isn't drawing properly, then your opponents aren't going to need to muck with your board state, because you're not really going to be doing anything significant. So you're just never going to be a threat, or you're not going to be enough of one. So this deck definitely, I've kitted this to be as fast as I could possibly make it. So let's go from there. I'm just going to do a bunch of test draws until I get bored. We'll cut it. And yeah, with standard, I just do one mulligan, one free mulligan, and then you take what you get, because I don't like going down to 6. Although this deck certainly could, but I really don't like that. This is not looking good. Top deck green, okay, and I do allow myself a scry 1. That is a legit mulligan. Nich. Most casual play pods I know, if you have 0 land, but you've got a hand where you'd be like, well, if I've got 1 forest coming up, I'll take it. I've got the Bird of Paradise and a bunch of low casting cost stuff. I can get myself out of it. But no, if the next card isn't a green producing land, then forget about it. And no, it wasn't. So anyways, we'll try that again. Realistically, I just draw as many times as I need to, but if it goes beyond the second draw, I take note of it, because it shouldn't need to. This draw, I should be able to take this draw no matter what. So the deck has 38 land in it, so it's got lots of land, and it's a very low casting cost deck, so it really doesn't take a lot to get going. Already I can tell I'm going to keep this. It's not going to be a great draw, but wow. Okay, so this is going to be a really slow draw for this deck. So it'll probably be the slowest draw that I get. But we're going to keep it, because we're on our second, we're on our mulligan. So we've got a bunch of land and some stuff we can cast. We're keeping it. No question. So, first turn. Wow. Okay, so a question comes up, which is, how do you account for the 4-player nature with effects that, like Rhystic Study, it's not in this deck, but if I was testing a deck, like, how many cards would I draw for that? And that's complicated, but a first turn Burgeoning will always get you 3 land on the go around, even if you go last and it's everyone's second turn. A first turn Burgeoning will always get you that 3. So what I'm doing on this one is I'm playing the fortified village, revealing a forest, and I'm going to put burgeoning into play. And then I'm going to pass my turn. 3 other players are going to take their turns. They're not going to miss their land drops. There's no way. So that's 1, 2, 3. And I am now going to take my second turn. Wow. Yeah, first turn burgeoning is always nuts when you have a mitt full of land. Wow. Oh, that top deck was disgusting. Oh, that was so good. That was such a good top deck. Well, obviously we cast Argothian, and then we cast Sithis and draw a card off of it. And then we play a land and pass turn number 2. In the burgeoning, there will be time to put that down. Notice, by the way, that because of that, we would have a heroic intervention in my hand if somebody tried like a cheap board sweeper. I would be able to protect my crew. So that's a good sign as well. Going into turn 3, this is a pretty important top deck. That's not great. At this point, what we really need is enchantments. We're going to cast Anointed Procession, draw 2 cards. Those are pretty good. This is turn 3. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to play our forest and we're going to pass the turn. So I've still got, and I pass with enough mana to activate my Stirring Wildwood as well as Heroic Intervention. So I've got some flying defense, and I've got the Heroic Intervention to protect my crew, so that's good. Going into turn 4, this is pretty important. That's horrible. Well, there's going to be something in play on turn 4, so we're going to cast Kenrith's Transformation. But first, we're going to cast Rite of Harmony. Because, goddamn, that's just irritating. Alright, so 1 white 1, Rite of Harmony. So every creature and enchantment we play this turn, we draw a card off of. And we'll put Kenrith's Transformation on something that some opponent has. So off of that, we're going to draw 1 for itself, 1 for that, 1 for that, 1 for that. So we're going to draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy. Okay, that's really good. So we haven't played a land yet, and we're not going to. This is turn 4. This is only turn 4. Good God. So we are going to tap 1 and Utopia Sprawl on the Wildwood. Draw 1, 2, 3. Also gaining life that I'm not keeping account of. I probably should be. Well, yeah, we'll tap that for 1 and 1 for 2. Drop the Cryptolith right. Oh, it's a bit shiny there. Hang on, let me just back that off a bit. Yeah, okay. So there's the Cryptolith right, which means that my creatures can now tap for a mana of any color. Oh, and I played a Cryptolith right, so I draw 1, 2, 3 cards. Did I already draw them? No, because those were the 4, right? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3 cards. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll tap these for 2 mana, put the Fertile Growth on the Fortified Village, draw 1, 2, 3 cards. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. I haven't played a land yet. Oh, boy. Yeah, I think we just go for broke. One white. Well, I guess it would be no. We'll float one green from that, and we'll put abundant growth on. I don't know. There's a land down there that needs it. I don't care. So draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and have one green floating. 1, 2. This is all on turn 4, by the way. 3, 4. Dang. I was hoping to draw into something that would let me preserve this hand size, but no such luck. Sorry, no. Oh, well, yeah, it doesn't matter what I've got. So now I've got a land, or I've got a mana floating, so I'll play my land. I will Wheel of Sun and Moon myself, drawing 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's the Cradle. Although I only have 2 creatures out, so it's not that big right now. Okay, and now I discard down to 7. So what am I keeping? I'm keeping the Cradle. I'm keeping the Bear Umbra, the Zendakar's Royal. Oh God. What's that? That's only 3. The Mesa Enchantress, the Mirari's Wake, the Heroic Intervention, and probably the Aura Shards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we'll keep those 7. These all get tucked to the bottom of my deck because of Wheel of Sun and Moon. And that is the end of my turn 4. So that's the end of turn 4, just for the record. Alright. Where can I put the enchantments where it's more efficacious? I guess up here? Yeah, that's on somebody else's creature. These are in play. Right, and that's my hand. Cool. Okay, and right, and the abundant growth is on something. Okay, so turn 5. Turn 5. The draw. Hey, it's an overgrowth. Yeah, I would think we're doing the Zendakar's Royal. Do I want to get another Enchantress in play before I do it? I don't. Yeah, that's on the Arcane Lighthouse. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll leave me with 5, 6, 7. 7, so can I afford... Oh, you know what I should do first is I should cast the Mirror. You know what? Yeah, let's just do the Wake first. 1, 2 with the right. And then 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Mirari's Wake definitely first before anything else. Draw 2. Fucking solitary confinement, seriously? Wow. 2, 3, 4, 5. Zendakar's Royal, draw 2. Play a Gaia's Cradle. Create 2 Zendikar Royal tokens. They're elementals. I don't actually have any elemental tokens, believe it or not. So I'll just use any old 2/2. Yeah, here, cat. They're cat warrior tokens. And I get 2 of them. Let's grab a dice bag here. Alright, I got 2 of those. So I've got 4 creatures in play, so Gaia's Creedle makes 4, 5 from the wake. What do we want to do with that now? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, let's do 2, 4, 6. Mesa Enchantress. Overgrowth. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. With 2 of those being white. And we'll do Solitary Confinement with 1 white floating. Draw 3. Beastmaster. Well, there's the win con. 1 floating. Cradle would now make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, extra 6. So 1 floating. We'll tap it for 6. 6. Go down to 4 with the Luminarch. Draw 3. Down to 3 mana. Probably just want to do. Oh, I don't even know. Guess Aura Shards. Yeah, Aura Shards. Draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Wow. This is only turn 5. This is turn 5. So, I mean, and I've got Solitary Confinement in play, which means I can't take damage. I've got Luminarch Ascension in play, and this usually doesn't take more than 1 or 2 rounds to have enough tokens on it. And so I'll be honest, and then I've got Burgeoning. So this is the point where I would stop the draw, and I would say at this point, especially considering I've got the Beastmaster Ascension as well, because turn 6, if nobody has managed to like do a board wipe for enchantments, or at least gotten rid of the Solitary and Confinement and really started to gun me down, this Luminarch Ascension is going to allow me to poop out and getting 2 for 1, 2 5/5 angels per land spent, because like that's too much, and I've got too many options in my hand. I'm going to have double mana from the Bear Umbra. I've still got that like protecting me if they did board wipe me. Well, like my 7 cards at the end of the turn, I just ditch all the land. Obviously, I'd probably, you know what, I would keep that one, ditch the bird. Yeah, so that would be my 7 cards in hand at the end of the turn. So even if like somebody managed to do a board wipe for the enchantments, or like I don't know, like a farewell or something, I would be able to recover instantly. Like I can just drop this hand, pick up a zillion cards. I've got a zillion mana, and I've got a win con. So at this point, this is turn 5. Turn 5. this is my hand at the end of turn 5. So I would pitch that and keep that. This is my hand at the end of turn 5, and this is my board at the end of turn 5. So I'm going to call that one right there. I don't feel the need to play it on any further, because if my opponents don't significantly impact my board, I'm going to win on turn 6 without any question. So, yeah. Yeah, especially with the solitary confinement up, it's like plus the Luminarch Ascension. And really just because, I mean, like what's coming up next is going to probably just be, oh well, Homerits, draw a shit zillion more cards, stuff to make my board tougher, like infinite card draw off of that. There's more Angel production, or of Silence. There's more creature production off of, yeah, because I just stacked it with as many things like enchantments and creatures that make tokens. Although I didn't go all the way because there isn't heavy landfall in here. Okay, so I will say the first, that was the first test draw. I only needed to go to turn number 5 to hit a point where by the end of turn 5, I would say that I am in a position that demands a response from the board. Someone's going to have to Cyclonic Rift, or I mean, Farewell. What else could happen? Not a lot that clears enchantments. If somebody's like smart and running some secret deck tech, like Shattering Gust, I think it's called. 2 colorless, 3 hybrid white. White or green mana symbols, and it's an instant, and it destroys all it's an instant, and it destroys all artifacts and enchantments, and you gain 2 life for each, and it's an instant. The fact that it's an instant is just wild. The problem is it's in white-green, and white-green likes to play lots of enchantments, and no few artifacts, too, so... it's one of those ones that I only ever play it if I'm playing like a creature deck, and it can't even be like a creature token deck, because creature token decks you're going to want to run Anointed Procession, Parallel Lives, Doubling Season if you have it. I personally don't have it, and I don't know if it would make the cut anyways because it costs 5, and I only need it for the one effect. I don't need it for it. The doubling of the +1/+1 counters doesn't do me any good. So, okay, I think we're just about done shuffling there. So I'll do one more here, and then we'll do a cut. Okay, up here and cut it. Test draw numero dos. So first one I would call a success despite an unspectacular draw that I mulliganed into. And still, by the end of turn 5, I was in a position where the board, like, you have to do something or I'm going to win. You know, you wouldn't be able to hide that you're the threat at that point. And I had lots of responses, too. I had the Aura Shards. The first turn, burgeoning with 5 land in hand is pretty crazy. I mean, that's pretty god tier. Well, I see a Sarah's Sanctum. That's pretty good. This is already looking good, although the problem is that Sanctum doesn't make any white without an enchantment being in play. So this could be one of these hands that really burns me, unless I get like a Wild Growth or something. Do I mulligan it? No. It's got 3 lands, so... I don't think that would be wise. Although, yeah, you know, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna trust the deck. I'm gonna mulligan it because, not because I think I'm gonna get color screwed. I think I would get out of that eventually, but there also isn't anything in my hand that's quick to cast. And I'm like, you know, that's a case of being, stuck with a bunch of 4 and 5 drops, and it's like, that's the top end of this deck, and there's only a couple of them, and they were pretty much all there. So let's just trust the deck, reshuffle, and let's go to the mulligan again, and see what we can do. We did mulligan away from 3 land, but one of them was Sanctum, which doesn't make anything on its own, and I didn't have any green enchantments in my hand that I could drop quickly, either enchant lands or anything. And I've got a bunch in here, but that are just quick green drops. But nope, didn't come up that time. So we're going to mulligan. We're going to trust the deck. We're going to do like a crazy mulligan there. Boom, boom. Okay, let's go. Burgeon. Oh, no land, though. Oh, there's a land. Okay, and there's another land. Well, it's better than the first draw, but only marginally. I'll keep it, though. Let's draw. Oh, okay. That's odd. Yeah, we'll play the Burgeoning and say go, and then second turn that'll come down. That's pretty nasty bad that I didn't draw a land there. I've got a couple options to get out of it, though. Green Suns is the easiest. It's a damn waste of a Green Suns, but we're going to do it. We'll just Green Suns for 1. Look, it's on the bottom, bird. Yeah, so basically by doing this, we're not falling behind for missing the land drop. It's turn 2, and I'm still at 3 mana, so I'm still actually ahead. But, yeah, not great. All right, go ahead. Turn 3. That's funny. Turn 3, we're going to go with the champion. Yeah. Man, this is another slow draw. Go ahead. Turn 4. Oof. Terrible draws. 38 land. Turn 4. Yeah, turn 4. Pop our commander into play. Draw a card off of him. Booyah! Thank you. Oh, that was a good draw. Turn 4. There's the land drop for that. Earthcraft. Draw 2. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is turn 4. I've already done my land drop. Oh, this guy's got like 2 counters on him. I'm going to tap him to Earthcraft for the forest. And we're going to crop rotation the forest. 1, 2. I've got 3 enchantments, but I've also got 3 creatures. Oh! But everything's also a forest. No, I've got her. Yeah, get the cradle. As much as Sanctum is probably going to do more in the top end, right now the cradle is what keeps me going, so we're going to crop rotation into the cradle. Earthcraft only does basic land. You can't untap a cradle with it, with Earthcraft. 1, 2, 3 creatures out. Tap cradle for 3. Dryad. Draw 2. Wow. Wow. Dryad allows me to play an extra land. I will play the land. I will tap it for an exploration. Draw 2. The green sun again. Wow. I can play another land. I will. I'll play another land. Tap for one using Earthcraft, and 1. And I'm going to green sun for 2 this time, which reshuffles it in. And I'm going to pull... Da 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 do 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 do. Gives you a flash of the deck. Hello, Sanctum Weaver. This is still turn 4. Okay. And cut. Right, and I've played my extra land for both things now. Yeah, so that's my end of turn 4. Wow. Okay. So turn 4, pedal to the metal. Oh, and while things are going around, burgeoning would poop out that land. Turn 5. Let's put these over here. Turn 5. Wow. Humana. Boy, I've got options, that's for sure. I think it would make more sense to do the right and save the enchanter just in case there was a board wipe. I think that's what I would do in a real game. So, yeah, I would start this turn off with a Rite of Harmony. Might end up casting the enchanter just for the card draw. Yeah, I don't have anything cheap. It's right into the sigil. Sigil's pricey. How many enchantments do I have out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 out right now, so I can just tap the Weaver, but 6 of one, half dozen of the other, to be honest. Oh, we got 5 creatures out, so every creature that comes out makes the cradle bigger, so it's like either way I'm just trying to min-max, but I'm going to go Cradle. Well, no. No, go Weaver. So Weaver for 6. Use 5 of it for the sigil. Draw 1, 2, 3 cards. Oh, 2 floating. Jesus H. Well, that would have been all white mana, so 1 floating. Enchantress. Draw a card off of the... Jeez. So 1 floating, 2, 3 Enchantress's Presence. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is turn 5. Again, this is turn 5. Put my regular land into play. Put my first extra land into play from that. I still have 1 more from exploration. Oh, Enchantress's Presence happens, so I get an angle. Very important to get your angles. So I have an angle now. Um, yeah, I guess don't bother min-maxing it. Just get right to it. 2 mana. Put Wolf Willow Haven on a basic land. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. And make another angle. So that land I can now I can now untap with Earthcraft. So each creature now taps for 1 white and 1 green, or 2 green if I want it to. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. Tap for 2. 1 floating. Wild growth on that land. Draw 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that land now can tap for 1 white and 2 green. Well, we're just going to kind of call bullshit at this point, because with Sacred Mesa and Earthcraft, I now have infinite mana and tokens, and I can now play my whole deck and have an infinite board state and be perfectly safe. And everyone's board would be gone. I just delete it all. So anyway, so this is the end of turn 5. I'm not going to play it any further because, and I still have a shit like basically, so every enchantment I play is going to generate an angel, and that angel, because of Earthcraft, can make 3 mana. So and then I've got all of these guys sitting there. So and plus the Cradle. So I've got like a zillion mana sitting open, and yeah, even without the Sacred Mesa, yeah, I mean, I could probably just keep playing this hand forever. But yeah, so that's turn 5. Again, with a not spectacularly fast draw after a mulligan. Turn 5, I'm going to stop because, again, if my opponents didn't interfere, it's over. So, yeah. In that case, an infinite combo came up. It's pretty much the only infinite combo in the deck. Sacred Mesa, Earthcraft, and a land that has some kind of mana boosting enchantment on it. So, yeah. That was a fun one. I thought that was going to be like one I was going to have to draw out to turn 7, but no. No, we only had to go to turn 5. Yeah, I hope that one of these test draws gives me like a god draw. You could easily imagine it, a couple of land, Utopia Sprawl, Argothian Enchantress, and yeah, you could definitely see how the deck could run away with a game really quickly. Oh, Sanctum Weaver. Yeah, Sanctum Weaver in the opening draw, or the Green Sun Zenith to go get the Sanctum Weaver, because pretty much the reason that Green Sun Zenith is in the deck is to get Sanctum Weaver. That other game, well, was it this game? Yeah, this game it got Birds of Paradise, which again is why it's in the deck. It is Green Sun Zenith is broken good. Yeah, it's nuts. It's absolutely crazy how good Green Sun Zenith is. So it's one of the few sorceries in this deck. There's, I think, like 2 instants, Heroic Intervention and Crop Rotation, and I think there's only 1 sorcery. But there is another sorcery that I really want to get into this deck, and that's because... Yeah, Genesis Wave. Because Genesis Wave would, like, there's basically 98% of the deck is going to be got by wave. There's basically no instants or sorceries. Everything is a permanent in this deck. So Genesis Wave would just shit a million lands and permanents into play, and that would be the end of it. So I am trying to figure out how to get it in the deck. It's definitely one I want. It would be a good finisher. Could like generate a butt ton of mana on turn 5 and just blah. Oh, there's half my deck into play. Want to give up? All right. But God. Hey, that guy just cracked a beverage. I will have a sip of mine. All right, draw number 3. First 2 draws, despite relatively slow starts, capped out on turn 5 with no need to play further. The first one was actually not even as dramatic as the second one. The second one, it was like, oh, it's over. What do we got here? It's not very good. I'm not going to keep that. Yeah. I've already done a burgeoning draw. I don't really want to do another burgeoning draw. That wouldn't have been that bad, but it also lacked white mana again. I'm thinking more and more about maybe swapping out one forest for a dual land of some kind. But I hate doing that just because they all like, or most of them, I don't have access to any good ones, so they pretty much come into play tapped, and I'm just like, But I've got a couple of landfall, like the Zendikar's Royal in here, so I mean, I do have Terramorphic and Evolving Wilds in here, just because they do color fill as well as they double proc on Zendikars for a single land drop, so that's cool. Okay. Oh, geez, this could be bad if I don't get a land. Because Cradle doesn't make green. No, I think that's terrible. Oh, there it is. It's off the draw. Because I would ask and I would keep it, so we're going to go with that. First turn, Avacyn's Pilgrim. It's like half a bird. Yeah, and I would have kept it and just risked it. I always do. 38 land in the deck, and everything's low casting cost, so yeah, that's pretty nuts. Boom, boom, Sithis, play Cradle. It makes 2, so that pops out an Earthcraft, which gets me a card, and then I say go. Third turn, that's no good. What are we thinking here? Third turn, I am thinking, yeah, 2, 3, Overgrowth on the land, draw a card. Sheesh. 2, 3, Enchantress's Presence, draw a card. A land, but it's not white. Play it, though. Go ahead. Turn 4. How about a Plains? Oh, it's a Plains! Thank you. Wow. Well, turn 4 is going to be eventful. So, boy. Do I go for the Wake? Pretty much. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 5. Mirari's Wake. Draw 2. Whoa. Huh. Oh boy. Cradle makes 2, 3 at the moment. This makes 4. So we'll just use him to Earthcraft 4, slap the Bear Umbra onto Sithis, draw 2. Tap the Cradle for 3. Put Kenrith Transformation on anything that's in the way. Draw 3. This is on turn 4. Attack whoever's the weakest. There's always somebody I can attack with a 3/4. Untap all the land. How to do this best now? I've only got 2 white. So, Stony Silence Luminarch. Yeah. 2/4. So we'll do Stony Silence first. Draw 2. Wow, Argothian and Angelic Renewal. Tap 4. So 2 green. And then that 1 white, 1 still floating from that, which I will now use for the Angelic Renewal. Draw 3. Wow. Tap her, tap untap for 4. Bird. Abundant growth on that forest. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 floating. With the 3, a Souza. Wow. 4. City of Solitude, just to make sure nobody interrupts my turn. Draw 1, 2, 3. I can play 2 additional land this turn because of a Souza. So one of them will be the Fortified Village, and I'll reveal the plains. Oh, the other one will be an actual plains. This is turn 4. Yeah, this is turn 4. This is ridiculous because... Yeah, I might as well do the Cradle now. Cradle for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 white and 3. So there's 3 green remaining. Sigil. Draw 3. Jesus, Lotus Cobra. 3 remaining. 2 white. So 1 floating, 1 white floating, Anointed Procession, get an angel, draw more cards. With that, play parallel lives, now get 2 angels, and now with the Earthcraft, that's making so much mana, I'm going to be able to cast the rest of my deck. Because each enchantment I cast will create double. It will create 4 angels. Each angel I can immediately tap for 2 white and 2 green off of this land. So every enchantment I now cast, like this burgeoning, will poop out 4 angels that I can tap for 16. So I'm literally going to be able to go through the rest of my deck. So this is turn 4, and I'm calling it off. I'm calling it off on turn 4 because, again, if my opponents were unable to interfere with this, like, they'd have to wipe. And look how much I have in my hand. I have the heroic intervention, so yeah. I also have things like the angelic renewal and blah blah. So okay, so that was a faster draw, definitely. And yeah, turn 4. There you go. Okay, well, those were 3 test draws with the current incarnation of my Sithis deck. I'll put the current deck list up on the video that I post for this. And yeah, thanks to anyone who was watching. If you have any questions or comments or certainly suggestions, I'm sure there's lots I can improve. There's lots I also just don't have, and there's lots I'm not aware of. There's probably lots of new cards that would work really well. I haven't bought any Magic cards for years now, so yeah. What's that? 4, 8, 9. So that would be because I'd keep the hand. So that would be what your second turn cards would look like on the next test draw. That's pretty good. Bloom Tender, the Green Suns, Aura Shards to just be Aura Shards plus Sacred Menace or Sacred Mesa. I call it Sacred Menace.